I'll intro us, I guess.
Okay.
Hello, welcome. I'm George Rockwell Schmidt. All right, hey everybody, welcome. It's the second episode of our SteamCast. We're trying a new thing here where we do a little podcasty thing. We might split it up into little segments later on in the week, but yeah, we'll give it all to you right here, right now. We're gonna get into a little conversation here.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, we got a lot of things to cover. There's a lot of things that happened in the last week. I guess we should probably cover what we want to do with this podcast.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I just want to hit, like, weekly news articles and things like that. I want to hit weekly news pieces in mostly games. We're going to talk about movie stuff, too, only if it's, like, really pertinent to nerd culture.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to talk about Oscar winners. I'm going to talk about Star Wars and stupid shit like that. But, yeah, I mean, mostly games, so...
Mostly games and game-centric issues, stuff like that.
Yeah, because we are fucking nerds, and this is what we fucking like. So let's just get into it. We got just a bunch of topics to cover.
Yeah, how do you want to even start? Seems like we got a pretty loaded week.
Yeah, there were a lot of things that went on this week. There's one I know Tanner wants to talk about a lot. It's the King of Kong update to this story. This has been an ongoing thing for about 10 years. I don't know if we should introduce the entire situation of King of Kong.
Yeah, okay. So I'll give you a little like synopsis of the King of Kong documentary, which apparently people dispute whether that's accurate to the actual story or not, but whatever. So the King of Kong documentary is about this guy named Steve Wiebe or Steve Wiebe, depending on how you want to fucking pronounce his name.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he is just some regular guy. He gets a Kong arcade machine, a Donkey Kong original arcade machine, and he just starts going for the high score. And at the time, and still currently, basically, there's a website called Twin Galaxies that is the foremost authority on high scores in classic gaming, classic being like arcade machines and stuff like that. So if you had a high score in any arcade machine at the time, you would be posting it to Twin Galaxies to kind of say, like, I have the official high score record at this game in the world or whatever.
Right.
And so then we get to the main focus of the story, which is Billy Mitchell, which is just a fucking gorgeous looking man.
Just a beast of a man.
Looks like Walker, Texas Ranger.
Let's get an image. Let's get an image on the screen there.
Yeah.
With his hot sauce.
Oh man. He so Billy Mitchell was the current holder of the Donkey Kong record, and the documentary follows Steve Wiebe trying to beat Billy Mitchell's score and eventually beating it, and then it kind of leads towards the end of the documentary into a huge controversy over who actually has the actual world record at Donkey Kong. And some of the controversy around the documentary comes up around how authentic the referees' decisions are and things like that. So then...
Yeah, it's really fishy, like when you're watching some of the stuff, some of the evidence that he provides, that Billy Mitchell provides for high scores. Like, he's given VHS tapes that are covered in static.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just like, it's really highly suspicious evidence, if you want to call it that. Like, most gaming sites now would only take, like, video evidence, and there's very easy ways to tell if video evidence has been doctored or altered.
Yeah,
it's not as easy when somebody hands you a VHS tape and they're like, "Here's my high score on Donkey Kong."
Well, it was just funny too because he didn't hand in that VHS tape until he had made a huge point about having a problem with Steve Wiebe or anybody else having a VHS tape of their high scores.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the quote was something like, "It's not a big deal to break high scores in your garage, but you got to do it in front of people.
Right.
Like, you got to do it live."
Right. So then Steve Wiebe in the documentary, he goes to Funko, I think is the arcade place they go to, and he sets the record in front of a bunch of people to make it totally legit. Like, I guess that's the most legit way to do it, right?
At the time,
play it in front of 30 witnesses. But then Billy Mitchell submits a VHS tape, which takes the record back, and then
which was like totally against Twin Galaxy policies at the time too. I'm pretty sure like
I think it was.
They wouldn't have accepted a VHS tape from like anybody else.
No,
like it was totally clear that they were treating Billy Mitchell like really special.
And that kind of leads into the rest of this story about how Billy Mitchell is actually like a large investor into Twin Galaxies. And he's also what they would call a referee on the site to make sure that scores are legal.
But that was like all
legitimate.
covered up. That was all, wasn't it? Like that he.
Well, I think Billy Mitchell was never an official like referee or a janitor of a custodian of the records or anything like that.
Right.
But he was friends with that Todd Rogers guy who was.
Okay.
And.
But like he was giving money under the table though, right? Like it's not like showing up like he's like it's not like Todd Rogers is telling people that Billy Mitchell gave him $25,000 this year or something. Like
no.
I'm just making that number up, but
no, I think Billy Mitchell was keeping the site alive basically. Like realistically, like how would that website make money? You know what I mean?
Other than just traditional means,
advertising and
which
stuff
is
like that. But usually that depends on having a high hit count. So
not a niche thing like that. Yeah. So anyway, all that builds up to the current situation now, where he had past tense a bunch of high scores in things like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong. I think he had stuff in like Donkey Kong Jr. and Donkey Kong 3 as well.
He's got a bunch of high scores in like a bunch of auspicious games too, like Centipede and there's a bunch of them.
Just everything from the time. But anyway, he had all those records until Thursday. Yeah. When he was stricken from the Twin Galaxies website entirely. And this has kind of thrown everybody into an uproar. It's kind of been an ongoing thing for the last couple of weeks because the whole Billy Mitchell investigation, if you will, kind of got opened up a few weeks ago.
Well, even it's been a thing for almost the better part of the last year almost, just because of the whole Todd Rogers that happened just a few months ago.
Right,
too.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, we're kind of getting rid of the old
of that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of like routing the old cheaters now. Like it's a weird thing that everybody's just kind of gotten on.
Yeah, Todd Rogers is just another person who was affiliated with the Twin Galaxies scorekeeping website, and I think he was a referee who would decide whether scores were legit or not, and he was also the custodian of records who would post the actual scores on the website. And yeah, so you get him and Todd Rogers and Billy Mitchell working together it's not really a far cry to say, oh, maybe some of these scores aren't as legitimate as they would make you think they are.
No, and I gotta wonder if they're doing this now to like add legitimacy, an air of legitimacy to their website, to be like, hey, we are getting rid of cheaters. Like, we know this was a thing that everybody cared about for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, we know there was always this suspicion around this person. Like, he's gone. Like, we finally dealt with it. Like, but like on the other side of the coin, it almost feels like they've shot themselves in the foot. Like they've
pretty much admitted.
Yeah, they've admitted wrongdoing. So it's like,
it's not like an instance either. It's like the last 20 years. Like some of those scores.
Yeah, like you've admitted really that you've been doing this for an ongoing fucking period of time. Like it's not. You're definitely not innocent in any of this.
No. And I think that's the funniest part is that this is all kind of imploding, and like you said, this is what you would be doing right now to try and save face and be like, no, we're a legitimate company, we're going to delete all these high scores, but they've already been sitting there for 15 years.
Yeah,
so
you've been treating this guy like a fucking champion, and it's like everybody's been telling you like, no, this dude's a cheater. So,
well, and that's the thing is that the Billy Mitchell rumors have been circulating for just as long, right? It's that though none of those scores are legitimate, and like maybe a few of them are, but yeah. I thought the funniest thing was that Guinness actually stripped his record, which is like something that they don't generally do unless you provide them with actual evidence.
Like real hard evidence, yeah. So, I mean, if you can convince them, I mean.
Yeah.
One thing I found particularly interesting is that they stripped he had the 1999 record for first recorded perfect Pac-Man game. And apparently that was legitimate. He didn't cheat that at all. That was real. And they stripped that. They took that away from the Twin Galaxies as well. I guess that was probably one of his most prized achievements in gaming. And
I wonder if that's like a consequence of what happened. Or if that's...
And I totally agree with it, honestly, as being a consequence. It's like you broke the rules. I mean, you cheated. You 3 strikes, you're out. That was the rule on the website. Yeah. I mean,
well, like
you're going to lose it all. Like,
I wonder if that's a consequence of what happened, or if that score is actually called into into question.
No, from my understanding, it wasn't called into question. Like that was completely.
It was just a consequence of him.
Yeah, that score was completely aside from the issue of what he's getting kicked off for, or like the whole investigation, like him cheating at Donkey Kong and whatever other games. I'm not really sure what other games he cheated at other than Donkey Kong.
Yeah, like the King of Kong documentary focuses pretty much entirely on Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm sure he's cheated at other games. Like, I'm pretty sure there's allegations of him cheating at pretty much every other game.
But so like a little bit of poetic justice, I guess. The record reverts to Steve Wiebe now.
Yeah, he is now listed as the -- Donkey Kong player, which rightfully so. I mean, you can't not want him to win at the end of that movie.
You do feel bad for him at the end of the movie when he's like crying about how fucked he just got, basically. Like how he just went and set a score live, and then Billy Mitchell comes in with a tape and takes the score back, and Steve Wiebe is crying in that interview, and it's just like, man, this meant like everything to that guy. And he's trying to do everything he can, and he realized that he just hit a corrupt wall that won't let him get any farther.
It's like you just reached like the political gatekeeper that is Twin Galaxies.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like,
you can work your ass off and actually be the best, and it won't matter because they'll still just let Billy Mitchell do whatever the fuck he wants.
I mean, I don't really know what else to add other than just desserts. He got what was coming, and we'll see where it goes from here.
I don't like the Twin Galaxies website. Like, I think it's stupid.
I don't think it's gotten a ton of like legitimacy. Like, people don't treat it with respect anyway recently. Like, it's not like a thing that people use. Like, it's not fucking.
Well, the Billy Mitchell thing is always, it hung over it. It's always been like a stench on the website. Is that Billy Mitchell and other referees have some of the higher scores on the boards. And it's like, well, that's not really fucking legit. Like, that doesn't even look legit. Like, most people would say that those referees are supposed to be totally unbiased in the situation. But it's like, if that referee is going for the same score, then what the fuck? Why would he give? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, it's like, why? Like, yeah, I mean, in any other sport, why the fuck would you have referees being allowed to compete against the athletes? Like, that just doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. It's like, it's just the potential for bullshittery.
It's just, you're just opening a whole can of worms, and it's just like, it's not going to end well. I just don't understand, I guess, why there has never been like a huge competitor to Twin Galaxies. Twin Galaxies is the main name in fucking like keeping records for these stupid old fucking games.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know. And we were born after the whole classic gaming era anyway, so like I've rarely stepped foot in an arcade place when I was a kid. Like,
a few times, like not too often.
But yeah, it's just an interesting story. It's just like everybody knew Billy Mitchell was fucked, and now it's just confirmed for everybody. It's just like,
so I don't really see like a conclusion past this. I don't see this progressing much farther. I mean, like we've dealt with Billy. He's done. Fuck
other
him.
Than just Twin Galaxies imploding as a website and just ceasing to exist, I guess. Like,
really? I mean, how is it going to stay afloat now? I mean,
does anybody? Like,
I'm assuming that Billy was giving them enough money to live before.
Well, that's exactly it. It's like, I wonder.
He's not going to anymore. That's for sure.
I wonder if he was just not giving them any money anymore, so they were just like, all right, well, fuck it, we're not going to look at your scores again.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I wasn't even thinking of it that way. It could be the other way around. Yeah, he stopped giving them money, and they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Like, I don't know, maybe there was zero money changing hands and they were all just friends or something. I have no idea. So like,
I was pretty sure I read somewhere, I don't want to fucking throw shit out where I don't know what I'm talking about, but I swear I read somewhere that he was actually like a financial contributor to the website.
I would put my fucking savings on it for sure. I don't think he was just friends with those people, and that's why he did it. Like, it doesn't seem like they would be friends with him, or he would be friends with them unless there was some money.
Billy Mitchell is definitely the kind of guy that has to pay to have friends.
You wouldn't think so just looking at the picture of him, but yeah, he doesn't look like the kind of guy you want to hang out with. He looks like a fucking dick.
Yeah, he seems like an asshole. Yeah.
Oh, he's super fucking arrogant in that documentary too. It's just like, yeah, you're asking him about his life, so he's gonna accentuate a little bit, but like at the same time, he's pretty fucking cocky. He's pretty cocky.
I think that's all I want to talk about.
Billy!
Billy's here! I'm here to break the record.
I got my tape.
Yeah, that still blows my mind that they accepted that. But I
know
mean,
I'm at Funko Land right now, and there's no reason you shouldn't be asking me to sit down at a Donkey Kong machine and just break the record.
There's like 5 of them right here.
Yeah. But here's my VHS tape of me doing it at home. And like you can look up any of these speedrunner records and people who have faked them, and they'll show you very easy ways to show you how video can be faked and how you can tell,
how you can splice.
Yeah, or like even like opening it up in Audacity and just seeing the fucking sound wave.
Yeah,
and there's be a clear splice,
huge cut in the fucking waveform.
Yeah, so it's like no matter how good you get the video to look, it's still gonna look odd when somebody opens the file in Audacity.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I want to cover on Billy Mitchell.
I think so, yeah.
I don't really want to get any more into his bearded ass.
You just got owned, Billy Mitchell. Take that.
Yeah, roasted. Fucking, all right. The main thing that I thought was really weird that came out this week was the Sega Genesis Flashback console that they felt was super important to flaunt and announce on Friday at a press conference in Japan.
Yeah, this was something that I didn't really know about, but you knew more about. So
I just saw it come up. I'm interested more in the classic console stuff. I know Tanner doesn't really give a shit about the little tiny.
They're just hard to fucking get. Like I think if I had a SNES Classic, I would like it. But
yeah,
it's just like every time I go try to find one, I can't. So.
Yeah, that's a fair thing to say too. I mean, I fucking hate the fact that they're so scarce as well. But the Genesis ones, and maybe it's because they're so goddamn bad.
Yeah.
But they're quite easy to find, I think. And the reason why they're so bad historically is they've been doing this for like 5 years now, where they've been releasing these Genesis flashback things, and the main reason why they're bad is because they license them out to this company, At Games, that just butchers the hardware. Like apparently the sound is totally off. Like if you just look up a video sample, like you just listen to Sonic the Hedgehog, like the sound is
really bad sound cards or something.
Like yeah, the sound chip is so bad. Like it totally warps the song. Like it doesn't even like
wow.
Go play like Emerald Hill Zone or whatever, and then play it on like the At Games version, and it's like holy fuck, like I'm getting ear raped. Like it's so fucked.
You said this before. They've been coming out with these things for a while now, and it's like, why the hell is this?
It's a few years now. I don't know if it's been like 5 years. It definitely hasn't been more than 5 years, but they were doing it before the NES Classic came out. They were licensing this Genesis Flashback console, and then when the NES Classic did get announced, excuse me, a lot of people thought that they stole the idea from Nintendo, which was kind of funny. But like they might as fucking well have, because those things were so bad before. I don't think anybody even wants to remember them.
Yeah. If you're gonna put out a product, you got to make sure it's good. You got to make sure people actually will have a quality product in their home after they buy it. Like it seems simple to say, but if you give people a piece of crap, they're not gonna fucking come back. Obviously.
Well, especially in today's age where everybody's just gonna bitch about it on the internet. Like you're not getting around that. Like,
no, exactly. It's not like there's no way for people to talk.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Well, the one thing I did like about these consoles too is that they actually had a cartridge slot. So if you had a Genesis collection, like if you have it like I do,
yeah, so you could play your original cartridges.
Yeah, you can stick the cartridges in, but it's just like, why would I bother? If I have an original Genesis collection, I probably have an original console as well. So
like how much?
If it's gonna make my games turn poo, I don't really want to use it.
What's a Mega Drive cost you? on the aftermarket anyway. Like,
I think I bought, and this might have been overpaying, honestly. I got like my Genesis. It was a Model 1 Genesis with a copy of Sonic 2 and 2 controllers with all the cables and everything for $50. That's $50 Canadian. So that's like,
you're
it's
talking like 40 or 35.
You're looking at like 40 American dollars, maybe even less. And I'm saying that's probably overpaying too. Like you could definitely find people that would get rid of it for less than that.
But it sounds like the better purchase because you get a something with a sound card that actually works and plays the games well.
It actually plays the games properly. Like it doesn't have like the 30 games built in, but like you'll probably acquire those pretty easily, like if you just find a couple game lots, because like Sega's not the same as Nintendo. People are trying to get rid of their Sega stuff,
right? It's not like as highly sought after as
there are Genesis like I like Sega stuff. I collect some Sega stuff, but it's like most people on the whole are trying to get rid of their Sega stuff. If they're casual about collecting games, they just want Nintendo shit, and usually Super Nintendo shit.
Yeah,
right now N64 is kind of the thing. But yeah, there's just the fact that they made such a big deal about this announcement, I guess, is just what's got me laughing. It's the 30th anniversary of the Mega Drive. That's why they're doing this. Whoa, like it's some
shit.
It's like a stoner telling me 420 is a special day for him to smoke weed. It's like you did it every other fucking day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm just looking more at this now. It's just, this is a mess. Like, what are you doing, Gary?
No kidding.
I don't see this being any different than the ones they already came out with. And,
well, like, why is this getting publicity and it hasn't been for the last 5 years? You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's that's the thing is Sega doesn't have the marketing money. Nintendo does. So when the classic consoles came out for Nintendo, they basically got a bunch of piggyback free marketing,
right?
Like, because everybody's like, oh, classic consoles with built-in games, and Sega's like, hey,
we got our own classic console coming out now.
Yeah, you want to fucking trick your kid into thinking you got something cool this Christmas?
Yeah, like, I guess I get that. That's pretty easy dots to connect. Fucking Sega's gonna get publicity any way they can, I guess. And now that classic mini consoles seems to be a fad, why not jump in?
Yeah, whatever. I mean, get that money, I guess. Sega. I want Sega to stay around as long as they can. I don't want them to go under.
I don't think they're in any danger.
No, they're not in any immediate danger. I don't think so.
But I think it's what you said. Like, I don't think there's the same nostalgia for Sega stuff that there was for Nintendo. Like we owned a Sega as children, and
that's why we want it. I want the stuff so bad. Yeah,
exactly. But I couldn't name 5 games on it besides outside of like the Sonic collections.
Yeah. Like I probably wasn't nearly as well versed like just even a year ago in like the amount of like good titles on the Genesis. Yeah, because it's people just don't talk about it as much. I don't know.
Well, none of those fucking franchises have really survived
or went anywhere. That's the other thing. Yeah,
like Sonic has prevailed through the decades, but it's not really what it used to be.
It prevailed. Yeah, I guess like, that's the best word you could use. It's the best compliment you could give him.
Like, they keep making Sonic games. Yeah, what else do you want me to say?
That's what I mean. He's definitely not flourishing.
Yeah. He seems to come out on top every fucking time.
He's doing it.
It's the only Sega IP people care about.
Yeah, but like, I mean, how many kids know what the fuck Altered Beast is? Or
no. Yeah, exactly.
Or Kid Chameleon.
Altered
I'm just trying to check out some of the names on the shelf across from me. Like Vector Man. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, kids don't know that shit.
Yeah, Batman. Who knows what the fuck that is? Fucking.
Yeah, what's up, Batman?
There's some licensed games in there. Jurassic Park.
I got a lot of licensed games, actually. Yeah, there's some good ones.
There's some good games that I remember as kids, like Kid Chameleon and
you got to look at the microphone while we're talking. You're probably getting this. You're probably getting this room thing going on.
Right. Okay. So there's some good games on the shelf over there, like Kid Chameleon that I remember from being a kid. But like, other than that, like, what the fuck else is there? Like, the Sega Drive seemed like it was pretty teenage oriented at the time.
Yeah. There's a lot of sports games.
Yeah.
Fucking sports games.
Nintendo seems like they hit this good balance where their games are kind of good for anybody. Like, they have an aesthetic that's pleasing for children, and they have challenge that's pleasing for teenagers. Fucking But you had Sega in the early 90s doing the whole, we want to put blood in our console and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, you had Sega kind of pushing the envelope a little bit more on like what you could put in, like fighting games and
Yeah, but do you really think that was what like led to the death of like all their, or like not the death, I guess, but
no, I just think that's an example of like how they were, what demographic they were oriented towards. They wanted teenagers buying. I don't think they were as concerned about little kids.
No, definitely not. Anyway, getting off track, all I wanted to say was I don't want to buy that friggin' At Games piece of shit. I was excited until it was announced that it was At Games. I think At Games should go out of business.
Yeah, if it was made by Sega, you might be more inclined.
Yeah, I don't really even know what At Games fucking does outside of making poopy consoles.
I was like, what is one of these Mega Drives retail for? Like the new one? Does it even
The new
say?
one? That's actually a good question. Because we just said, yeah, it's like $40 American if you want to get, and that's with a copy of Sonic 2 as well.
Like, what do the old ones cost? Like the other re-releases of this console?
Pull that up, Jamie. What do we got? What do we got for a price?
Give me some volume.
Like $100.
God damn.
It's like $100. What the fuck?
Yeah. If you're coming out at $100, you got to be comparable to the SNES Classic and the NES Classic. You got to at least play the games properly. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, too, they put like this big number, like, 90 games, like on the box, and like 45 of them are like this junk shovelware that they made for the console.
Right.
Like, that's like this shitty little mini game, like, match the cards, and like,
oh, God.
Yeah, like it's like shit you wouldn't even pick up for free on your phone. Like,
wipe your ass with.
yeah, really. Like, I'd use it for kindling to start a fucking fire.
Yeah, that's fucking embarrassing. Fuck you, Sega.
I just, yeah.
Fuck you, At Games.
I don't get them putting their name on that.
Like, it seems like a totally fine product to put out. It's just don't fucking half-ass it.
Whole ass it.
Yeah, put your whole ass into that. Let's go, Sega.
A damn hammer. Sorry, I fucked up my Hank Hill impression.
Yeah.
There was like one other kind of pertinent thing I wanted to talk about. And it's not even really an important thing. It's just more of a fucking stupid thing. Tanner likes Nicolas Cage.
Oh, I love Nicolas Cage. He's awesome.
We had a Nicolas Cage headline in the news this week.
Fuck yeah.
Not anything major, but Nicolas Cage says he would return to superhero movies if he could be the Joker or Doctor Doom.
Oh my God. So I have actually been getting back into these superhero movies. There was a time where I was like around Age of Ultron. I was kind of just dead in the water on all these superhero movies. I didn't care.
Yeah, I fell out for a long time.
Now I'm kind of getting back into it. They're good, like popcorn movies.
It's like it's bubble gum. Yeah, you pop it in, you chew it, you spit it out, you get the next one.
Exactly.
Like,
they're only 2 hours, so it's just like fucking. And that's the thing. And I think you said it perfectly with popcorn movies or bubblegum movies is that you're not going back to rewatch most of these.
I'm not anyway. Yeah. I mean, some people say they love doing it. Some of my friends say they like watching. Like, I watched Doctor Strange like 3 times.
Right.
And it's like,
but it's like I did not think Nicolas Cage would do any better at the Joker than fucking. I don't know, like.
You don't think he'd be a good Joker?
Who was the last one? Jared Leto?
Jared Leto was the last one, yeah.
Right.
I was going to say Heath Ledger, but no, we got that forgettable Jared Leto performance for like 10 minutes.
I know it's an opinion that's been expressed to death on the internet is that Heath Ledger's the best Joker and it's not going to get topped for a while. I don't see Nicolas Cage being the person to come in and make everybody forget about Heath Ledger.
Yeah, but that's... We need some movers and shakers. We need to get somebody in the roster that's somebody in the somebody on the bench that's just gonna shake things up a bit.
I totally agree with you. I think you need like Jeff Goldblum in Ragnarok was hilarious. You need somebody like that in the Marvel universe to give some of these characters some flavor. Like fuck, you got. And this is a problem I've had with most of the Marvel movies is that outside of Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man, most of the other actors playing their roles are kind of like bland. very,
man, we said the same word there. Like it's fucking.
It's like kind of
a
bland,
common
and generic.
complaint. Yeah.
It's like they play the role as written on script and not anything different, and it doesn't really feel like any of them add their own thing to that character.
No, absolutely. And I kind of wonder if they even get the freedom to do that.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. feels like Iron Man.
Yeah.
And
no, he totally does. They couldn't have got a better person to play Iron Man, really.
And I would say the same thing about Tom Holland playing Spider-Man. He feels like Spider-Man. If that's the way Spider-Man
he was a good
feels.
casting choice as well, yeah.
But like Captain America just kind of seems really flat. I get the same feeling with Thor and Hulk, is that they look the part, they don't play the part very well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, on Thor and Hulk, I would totally agree. I feel like I don't get to see enough of fucking Black Widow or Hawkeye to.
No, they're always like bit roles.
Yeah.
Kind of inconsequential as well.
I'm pretty much indifferent to fucking Captain America, but
yeah, Nicolas Cage playing. I don't want him to play Joker, so that's that.
Come on, get him in there. We'll throw him in.
Him playing Doctor Doom would be cool. I like fit him in the movie. Fit him in the universe.
Nicolas Cage would be this kind of actor where he's like, I'm not wearing that mask though. Like fucking like he'd go fucking Stallone and Judge Dredd on that shit. He'd be like,
yeah,
maybe not, but
well, unless he's just doing it to get paid.
I need to be crazy. You can't limit my crazy.
Yeah, unless he's just doing it to get paid, and he's like, maybe they've already been looking at him, and he's had to make a statement saying like, no, I'm not accepting any roles unless it's these two. You know what I mean?
Anyway, yeah, no, I absolutely agree here. I totally hear you.
I think him playing Doctor Doom would be really cool. The first scene that introduces Doctor Doom in the new Fantastic Four movie, Fan Four Stick. The first scene where Doctor Doom is like killing people and shit. I've watched that scene on YouTube, and it's well shot. It's well produced, and it looks like he is actually like a terrifying fucking person. He's like melting people's brains and shit. It's nuts. It's actually like a really good scene.
So let's ruin that by putting fucking Nicolas Cage. I'm more pumped than just ruining a movie with Nicolas Cage. I'm not talking about making a movie good here.
Well, if you want to ruin the next Fan Four Stick as well, then yeah, stick Nicolas Cage in it.
Listen to this quote.
Do it.
I should have read this quote earlier. I didn't get down to it. This is Nicolas Cage talking. I always thought I'd make a great Joker, Cage said, adding that he thought he'd also be a good villain in a Marvel movie. He specifically names Doctor Doom, but he doesn't seem crazy about the idea because you have to wear that mask. Wow.
Well, yeah. He would have wanted to be Thanos and not wear purple. Fucking.
Going back to the Joker, Cage agrees that it would be the perfect role for him because he could go even more off the rails than he normally does.
Oh my god.
This is a quote from him.
Like, there is some method to the madness with the Joker. That's why I like the Joker. Cage going off the fucking handle is not that.
No, it's just fucking madness. It's
anybody who doesn't believe me, go watch like clips from the movie Vampire's Kiss.
Oh yeah, that's just enough to tell you right there everything. That's like a portfolio for Nicolas Cage's insanity.
Yeah, you can make a whole compilation that's just him freaking out in that movie, and it would be 6 minutes. Like
essentially, it'd be all the best parts too.
Yeah, no other Nicolas Cage movies. I know everybody wants to put Know the Bees in there, but you could seriously just clip Vampire's Kiss into a 6-minute Nicolas Cage freakout session.
Do you know what I just remembered? Nicolas Cage was a fucking Ghost Rider, man.
Yeah, he was.
He was in these superhero movies before they started doing this whole fucking thing.
Do they count that as like...
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so, no.
Because he isn't... That's Marvel, right?
That's Marvel, yeah.
Right, so like he would be a good candidate for like the new Avengers after this whole fucking Infinity
He should just
War
reprise
shit.
his role as fucking Ghost Rider, man. Why we don't have a Ghost Rider yet in this universe.
I remember not hating that movie, but I also have not seen it in a very long time.
I remember not liking it, and I think the sequel. I didn't see the sequel, but I think it was utter shite. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
was the
so
general
too.
consensus.
Hellrider always had like a weird fucking
Ghost Rider.
Excuse me. Ghost Rider always had like this weird feel to it. It's like this guy's a hero. You know what I mean?
Like, are we the good guys or
We the
fucking
baddies?
Yeah, like I felt the same way. I always feel the same way about Hulk, I guess, but Ghost Rider, we don't have this whole like that's like one element that they haven't explored in the Marvel universe, I guess, too. Like we got the whole fantasy stuff with fucking Thor, and we get the outer space shit with Guardians of the Galaxy, and we get in the new one we got, what was it, Doctor Strange or whatever that came out last year. You get like that cool like trippy like spiritual mind bending like monks and Buddhist temple shit.
Yeah.
Like you get these different like aesthetics in all these different movies. Like I feel like Ghost Rider and like these different kind of themes. Like I feel like Ghost Rider could bring its like supernatural kind of fucking afterlife shit where
That
he's
would
like
be cool.
doing deals with the devil and shit. Like that's pretty much what those movies were about, I guess, but they just weren't done well. I just remember him not turning into Ghost Rider very often.
Yeah, there's like one very famous scene of him just like staring at the camera being like, ah!
Oh yeah. And it's terrible.
And that's like the only time I think in the whole movie you see him in the transition. I think every time he turns into Ghost Rider, it's like off camera.
No, but I just mean he never just is Ghost Rider. He's like Ghost Rider like 3 times in the whole movie.
Well,
Like fucking,
okay, so yeah.
like imagine watching Spider-Man Homecoming.
He's walking around as Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, and the
most
guy's
of the
just
movie.
walking around as Peter Parker for 90% of the movie. Yeah, like
Right.
fuck this. All right, that's basically all the topics I wanted to cover this week. I mean, is there anything else that you wanted to hit?
Let's talk about the whole PUBG Fortnite Sue thing.
Oh yeah, there's one more that you were just reading about before we started.
Yeah, we'll cap the episode off with this.
We'll cap it off with a more relevant topic than Nicolas fucking Cage.
So I was just reading Fortnite, everybody's favorite battle royale game. Apparently there was a rumor going around earlier this week that it was going to get sued by Bluehole, which is the subsidiary company that has the rights over PUBG. They're not even the devs. They're like the
Bluehole. I thought Bluehole was the dev.
Oh, maybe
I think maybe
I'm confusing two different things. It's like PUBG Corp or something is a different thing.
I think
Bluehole.
PUBG Corp might be the subsidiary. Bluehole was the like company that
actually developed it.
The one guy founded, as a dev studio in Korea or whatever.
So anyway, so Fortnite went down for regular maintenance, which if you've played any MMORPG or anything like that, you would understand. There's usually 3 hours every week where all the servers go down. They do basic stress testing and maintenance on bugs that they've collected and stuff like that. And the server went down, and then news started coming out of PUBG Corp / Bluehole filing a lawsuit against a company called NetEase, which is a developer of 2 games called Knives Out and Fight for Survival or something like that, or Rules of Survival.
I've never heard of either of these.
They're both mobile games. That's why it's like nobody talks about fucking mobile games because no one gives a shit.
There's just like so many in a day that come out. Like, how do you even talk about all of them?
But apparently these are both battle royale type games. Obviously just trying to cash in on all the hype that's surrounding that genre right now. But so they're going to be sued by PUBG, and in the most basic terms anyway, they're getting sued by PUBG, and it seems like a total uphill battle because they're the games that they're going after developed by NetEase are games that have been on the mobile markets longer than PUBG has.
Yeah, they existed before PUBG did on the mobile market anyway.
Yeah, and PUBG Corp has admitted that they have no authority over the genre as a whole. They don't have a license for it or anything like that.
Right. I don't think any game developer should have authority over any genre.
No, it would be like Guitar Hero being like, no, you can't have a guitar in your game.
Yeah, it's garbage. That's garbage for the industry.
Yeah, exactly.
That's total money mongering.
I feel like that's something that does kind of happen every time a new genre
kicks off, and becomes popular. So like even back when Pac-Man became the new fucking popular thing.
Yeah, it's all that money, man. People want the monopoly on it.
They want to copyright. I get it. Like you had a really good idea. You came up with like a really fucking good idea or whatever. But it's just like even this guy, the PUBG guy, You started your game in H1Z1 or whatever,
Yeah, exactly.
or Arma 3, I think.
Arma 3.
It was an Arma 3
Yeah.
mod. I just got confused there because I'm pretty sure H1Z1 is
also a mod.
Also
Yeah.
started as an Arma 3 mod.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, like you can't really claim that your shit was like the most original thing. Like
No.
most shooter games that online shooter games that exist out there right now can run a game mode that's basically your whole fucking game.
Well, yeah, like it would be essentially like Gears of War trying to copyright the Horde mode.
Yeah, like how many?
That was the first
that's a
game
good
I
example.
That was kind of the first game I saw that had a Horde mode, and then a lot of games had it after that.
Yeah.
You didn't see Epic Games going out and suing people.
It took off. I forgot about that. That was like a pretty recent one. Horde mode was like not a thing until Gears of War 2, and then everybody was like, "Whoa, people like this."
Yeah, this is this is fun.
This is like a huge attractive feature to the fucking game. And then like you never saw Epic Games or fucking I don't even remember the actual. Was it just Epic Games that is the developer and publisher for that?
I think it is.
But yeah, they never went after anybody for that. Like maybe they did. I'm just shooting my mouth off. I don't think they did.
No, they never did.
They never did.
I'm just trying
to
think. I think it is just Epic Games. I was gonna say maybe Gearbox too, but I don't think so.
No,
it's but yeah, like that's a pretty good example of what's going on right now. Just recycled. Like, so anyway, they're suing this company. It's going to be a total uphill battle because they don't fucking have any precedent over any of this. And the fact that they're not going after Fortnite right now is kind of suspicious because it's just like, okay, you're going to sue this other company for exactly the same thing that you're claiming that Fortnite is doing to you as well.
Yeah, it almost sounds like they're trying to get their ducks in a row.
Yeah.
They're trying to get ready to go after the bigger fish.
Yeah, like my guess would be they're trying to use this smaller case to set a precedent for them owning the whole battle royale kind of thing. So then they will have some power behind that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have a bigger club to swing with. Yeah. Absolutely. That's really what it seems like on looking in.
But it's just, okay, so then the other part of that whole story is that Bluehole they're suing. They start suing these NetEase games on the mobile market or whatever, and this coincides with the regular maintenance period that Fortnite is having. So in these 3 hours when people can't get onto Fortnite because of regular maintenance, everybody is kind of freaking out, and they're all thinking like, "Oh shit, Fortnite just got shut down because PUBG is suing them."
You got to remember the fucking average age of the kids playing Fortnite is like 10. So like the critical thinking skills just aren't there.
Nobody's going to recheck this shit either. So then a doctored Photoshop tweet starts making the rounds on Twitter. It looks like it came from the official Fortnite account, but anybody who knows Twitter knows how easy it is to fucking doctor a tweet.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody, like, yeah, I can say Hitler did nothing wrong and then put like CBC above it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
So, like, nobody went to the actual Fortnite account to confirm whether this tweet was real or not. But they all saw the tweet circling around on Twitter that was supposedly an official statement from Fortnite saying, "Hey, we're getting sued and the game's getting shut down right now." So, like, blah 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 blah.
And everybody started losing their fucking mind.
Everybody starts losing their minds. It's just like, my God. First of all, it's not the fucking end of the world because Fortnite is shutting down. 2. Maybe look into this story a little bit more because I did fucking 10 minutes of reading and I figured out what the actual story was and like everything, all the aspects of it pretty much. And everybody's losing their minds thinking they're not going to be able to log into Fortnite. It's just
I found it funny. Just Fortnite has hit such a fucking critical mass that I knew that Fortnite was down for 15 minutes when it was happening, and I don't even fucking play the game. I've never played the game.
Oh, you got we always complain about this, but you have publications like Forbes reporting this shit. It's like, why?
Like, I don't need my dad to tell me that fucking Fortnite is cool. Like,
or is shutting down.
Or is shutting down or not shutting down. I would love it if it did shut. Actually, I'd love it if PUBG shut down. Fortnite is fine.
Fortnite seems like they've actually put effort into what that game is supposed to look like and feel like.
Yeah.
But PUBG just kind of feels like an asset drop where they were just like,
yeah, pretty much.
Here's a bunch of shit.
I'm pretty sure they do use pre-made assets that they've bought. I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah. It's like here's all your assets and here's your sandbox to play in. Fucking go have fun. Like Fortnite kind of feels like a more like well put together game. Like everything feels like it's supposed to go together and shit, and it's just like it's not generic at all. Like,
No,
you know,
it has a visual style.
that's exactly it. It's like, it's pretty easy to copy reality when you just, oh, that's a brick building, that's a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
like-
it's like when you do things like Fortnite, you actually have to like artistically redesign things like buildings.
Well, yeah, it looks like they have a lot more thought into just like things like palette choice, fucking
Yeah.
textures,
Yeah.
like really. I don't know. That's just my take on it, and we're kind of getting off topic. But I just think Fortnite's the higher quality game.
I think
like,
so too. And we're coming from two guys that don't even play Fortnite.
Coming from two guys that have never played either of these.
Outside looking in,
Yeah.
and we can tell that Fortnite is the better game.
I have one more interesting thing to talk about. What the fuck was that? I have one more interesting thing to cover here before we sign off, I guess. I just caught this coming up on my feed like 5 minutes ago. Billy Mitchell just released a statement on his disqualifying records.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Billy Mitchell, let's hear it.
We got the official statement from Billy Mitchell on the allegations. Billy's back. All right, what do we got? Yep, several of his high scores were disputed and then taken away, yada yada. All right, this is what Billy had to say. I've been asked to address things that are recently in the media. The fact of the matter is, now there's a true professional due diligence being done to investigate things that have happened as far as 35 years ago, in a professional manner, not in a shock jock mentality designed to create hits. We will show that everything that has been done, everything was done professionally. According to the rules, according to the scoreboard, the integrity that was set up, not 2014 forward by the current regime who wants to reach back 35 years.
The current regime.
I don't know, man. Everything will be transparent. Everything will be available. I wish I had it in my hands right now. I wish I could hand it to you, but it's taken a considerable amount of time. Witnesses, documents, everything will be made available to you. Nothing will be withheld. You absolutely have my commitment to that. We've been
Just in this statement.
we've been at this since 1982, and it's not gonna stop now.
I was like, man, just in that statement, you can tell how narcissistic the guy is.
The guy's a
that sounds like
fucking
something
nut.
Trump would be tweeting about North Korea. Like, oh, we need
yeah.
a regime change. And like, oh, you know this shit.
He's
You know what I
like
mean?
talking about like a cabal, like a fucking deep state conspiracy
Yeah.
against him here in fucking Twin
Yeah,
Galaxies.
exactly. Oh, these
God
people are
damn,
just
dude.
they're just smearing me to get hits. That's all that's happening right now. It's not like this has been going on for 20 years of rumors. Like,
No kidding. And he's like, he's like talking about it like, oh, like he put this line in his statement there, not 2014 forward by the current regime. So it's like he's saying that like, oh, 2014, that's when Twin Galaxies start getting fucked. Like,
that's when
like,
my
when they
buddy
started
left,
looking into
probably.
all my shit. That's
Yeah.
when they sucked.
Yeah.
Like,
oh man. So doubling down on the I didn't cheat, even though everybody already thinks you're a fucking cheater.
like he's straight up, he's saying that he's gonna have like a dossier, pretty much. Like he didn't use the word, but
Oh.
like he's saying he's got a bunch of like files and things, witnesses, documents, everything will be made available to you. Nothing will be withheld. What the fuck does that even mean? This is a fucking Donkey Kong high score, man.
Again, it sounds like Trump talking about like, oh, there's no obstruction in the Russia investigation, blah 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 blah. Like that's kind of what it sounds like. It's like this is how narcissistic he thinks he is, or this is how narcissistic he is,
Yeah.
and this is how much he thinks people care about this whole situation. Like everybody read that headline and was like, yeah, we already know. Fucking.
Does he think anybody's buying this shit?
Well,
Like
that's exactly it. It's like, I don't fucking buy it. I've never even fucking played Donkey Kong on the original arcade or like anything like that. Like I don't buy it. I've seen evidence to the contrary. I'm sorry. You're going to have to fucking, the
I've
burden
seen
of proof is on you,
consistent-
sir.
Yeah, like there's no way. Like I mean, I don't know. As I said, we said before, like I don't think there's anywhere to go from this story after this. Like he's gonna make a statement saying that he fucking didn't do it. He's gonna put out his file that he's talking about. I guess I'm looking forward to that.
How old is Billy Mitchell? How old do you think he is?
I think I just read that earlier. He's 54. He's 52 or 54. I can't remember now.
Why does this matter to you so much?
Well, you got to look at Billy Mitchell, man. He's got. What has he got? Has he got a wife? Does he have kids? No. Like what the
I don't
fuck?
think
does
so. He's got
I
a
don't-
hot sauce
I don't
company.
think so. Yeah. Like this is his part of his identity. I think, dude. Like he can't give it up.
I guess like if I guess like if you've been doing this for decades and you're like, I'm the fucking king of all these old arcade games, that's gonna be a hard persona to drop, I think.
I think so. Yeah, he's just been the villain in this scene for so long too, and I think he knows it a little bit.
Oh fuck, man!
So he just loves doing it.
Fucking die already! Like Jesus
just
Christ.
Jesus, just wishing death over here.
Like, just leave. Stop talking.
I know, like he just doesn't think that. He thinks that people are still buying into this. Like people believe him.
I don't think anybody's jumping to your defense. Not anybody credible.
No. I don't think nobody's vouching for Billy Mitchell but Billy Mitchell.
Yeah, like
that's for sure.
You're gonna get people like Todd Rogers retweeting that. I don't know. You want to end it there? I guess
that's pretty much good for me. Yeah. I mean, that last little bit there was icing on the cake. I didn't even know we were gonna get that.
Yeah, that was actually pretty interesting. Billy Mitchell able to respond.
Billy Mitchell, knowing that we're doing the podcast and talking shit about him and fucking slapping back.
Fucking ears are burning. He's like, I gotta put a statement out on Twitter right now.
Like, fuck those kids. All right. I think that's a good place to sign off. We did a good hour there.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a good episode of the SteamCast.
SteamCast.
We'll probably chop it up for you into little bits throughout the week to post up individually. Yep. But yeah, be sure to check it out. We're gonna try to do this every weekend, I think. And we'll post the video during the week. And yeah, you can click all the shit below this video. I don't know what shit is there below the video. I'm sure there's stuff in the description. There's that subscribe button.
I'll put some shit in there. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell, apparently, if you want to get our shit, because YouTube doesn't work the way that it used to.
Yeah, it's garbage now, I guess. Click things on our channel. Yeah. It helps us.
Yeah, it helps us very much. Hit that little thumbs up. It does help quite a bit.
All right, see you later, everybody.
See ya.